Hey guys, welcome. And this video is going to be a little different than what we normally do. This is going to be kind of more of a discussion video. I wanted to talk about Ubisoft changing Assassin's Creed into a live service game. So we'll stick with what has actually been confirmed, that Ubisoft is making Assassin's Creed, codenamed Assassin's Creed Infinity, a live service game. That is all that's officially been confirmed. But Jason Schreier posted an article talking about how Assassin's Creed's going live service. And with some speculation, I always suggest that, you kind of wait for things to like really die down because there's a lot of speculation out there. But with it being Jason Schreier, I do believe that this one has a little bit more credibility compared to a lot of other rumors that sometimes come out and around this time. So we're going to discuss that. And I wanted to kind of know your guys' thoughts as well as we're doing this. So if you guys wanted to put your 2 cents in, you throw it in the comments down below. But let's just kind of jump into this. So they announced Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to be a live service game. Now, the rumor is, according to Jason Schreier from talking to people, was that they're trying to compete with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Fortnite in a way of making Assassin's Creed kind of similar to that style. So they're planning, Ubisoft's looking at doing more of a Fortnite style, Grand Theft Auto style of Assassin's Creed. Could be a little iffy to me, but what is confirmed is that they're taking all the studios from, there's 2 studios that have always worked on Assassin's Creed. There's one studio that will work on one while the other studio works on the other. That way, when they did the yearly releases, one game was made by one studio and then the next year was made by another studio. They are combining both studios to make this Assassin's Creed Infinity live service game model. So they're kind of diverging all their focus on 2 different Assassin's Creeds into one big major Assassin's Creed. So that's all that's kind of really been confirmed with this report. I do think that this could be a potential for a good thing, but I also have some reservations. I talked about this about 4 months ago in a podcast with Rick Talk. If you guys missed it, I'll throw the link in the description down below, as well as the links to all these articles down below as well. So check them out on your free time or after this video or whatever. But I talked about this 4 months ago where Ubisoft is planning on focusing more on a free-to-play style games. And I said, I was playing devil's advocate, and I said, well, if Ubisoft's going to do this, this could be cool. They focus on these smaller games like they did with that Hyperscape game, where if they kind of take those games and focus those on the free-to-play games, they can take those and kind of focus on what makes Assassin's Creed good, what makes Far Cry good, and kind of polish those out so they don't have to come out every year, where they can do these kind of smaller games like that Roller Champions or the Hyperscape game, where they could kind of focus a little bit more on these single-player open-world experiences. It does seem like they're kind of transitioning from that to a more, what I would think would be like a hub style of games where you jump into an Assassin's Creed world, you're there with a bunch of friends, and then you travel to different missions and stuff, which will take place in different eras. That's what it seems like to me based off of the Jason Schreier report, but I don't know if this is the right direction. I feel personally that there is too many live service games out there right now to focus on one or the other is almost impossible. If you're playing Fortnite, you're not playing Grand Theft Auto. If you're not playing Grand Theft Auto, you're playing Apex. If you're not playing Apex, you're not playing Warzone. Like, you have no time to play all these different types of games. And with this coming out that Assassin's Creed's going in the same service of live service, you're going to be picking between one or two, or you're going to play one for 2 weeks, play the other for 2 weeks, play the other for 2 weeks. And I just feel like it's getting harder to play games, especially with a lot of these live service games, and especially like how they're done. I understand microtransactions, I understand why the industry does it to make money, but I feel like there needs to be a balance. If you're gonna have all these live service games like Fortnite and stuff, you need things like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or Last of Us to kind of bridge that gap to where you have a single player experience that is a story, narrative driven style that can kind of compete with those games on their own. They're never going to be the million viewers, million players games, but they're going to have their own heart and their own soul to balance out the world of all these live service games. If Ubisoft is planning on changing to a more focus on live service, if all their games are live services, you can't pick one, or you're going to play Rainbow Six, or you're going to play Assassin's Creed, or you're going to play Far Cry, or you're going to play The Division. And you got to stick with one or the other because you don't have enough time in the day. Well, at least I don't have enough time in the day to play all these different types of games. So I think that this could be a good thing if done right. If they do it like Grand Theft Auto, like a free expansion or a free add-on to the game, where you go into an online world and then you can go into different time periods with friends and other players and do missions and stuff, where the only way the game's being monetized is through microtransactions cosmetically and any updates. Like, we started off with Egypt at first, and you get to explore Egypt, and then the next expansion comes out and you're going through rural Japan, which has been a fan favorite. If you guys are going to do this, Ubisoft, put rural Japan back into Assassin's Creed. We need it. Just saying. If they're going to do this where they're going to focus more on a live service hub like that, it's got to be free. It's got to be free on the worlds or the expansions, and monetize the cosmetics or whatever. That's just my personal opinion. In order for a game to be successful, you got to get rid of those paywalls so every player will play. Because if there's a paywall behind it, I know a lot of players, especially myself, are going to be more inclined to not play, because I don't have the funds to buy that and buy the new Godfall game and buy the new Titanfall and buy the new, oh, Titanfall would be nice, and buy the new Anthem. There's so many live service games, and you'll never be able to compete. But these are kind of like the way that the industry has been trending. We talked about it, like I said, 4 months ago on the podcast. If you guys are interested, watch the podcast. I'll link it below. But I feel like that this is where the games industry has been going for quite some time, and it's kind of getting to a point of stagnation. And I know Ubisoft is a little late to the trend of live service games, but it's still an effect where we have live service games, and live service models is kind of the norm. So I'm very excited to know that they're still working on Assassin's Creed. I thought Valhalla was very well done, and Odyssey was very well done. So I'm excited that they're going to be working on more Assassin's Creed stuff, and I'm cautiously optimistic of what they're going to do in the future. But according to the report by Jason Schreier, we have till like 2024 to worry about this. So time will tell, and I have been wrong before. So maybe I'm wrong about this, and there's nothing to worry about. The game's going to come out and be the next big thing. Everybody's playing it, and we're all going to love it. But these are kind of just my thoughts on the game and the kind of reports that are coming out. What are your guys' thoughts? Did this intrigue you at all? Are you guys excited to see what's going to happen with the new Assassin's Creed? Or are you guys kind of like me, where you have a lot of reservations? Let's keep discussing this in the comments down below. I would love to enjoy this conversation more. I do also hope that you enjoyed this video. So if you did, think about giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, turning on those notifications so you know when the next video comes out. I try to do new videos here on YouTube once a week, so I'm starting to get back into the flow of that. So bear with me as I'm still trying to transition. As well as, if you guys wanted to have this conversation while I'm streaming, I do not mind. I do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We can continue this discussion there. I play games, hang out, whatever. I do not mind at all. Until next time, guys, let's just play.